bastard sermon, you motherfuckers.
Welcome to another episode of The Bastard Sermon. I'm one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker.
Luke Young.
Lloyd Johnson.
And Lloyd wants to introduce his guest.
All right, so today on the Bastard Sermon, we have the man who hatches eggs and spreads legs. The man who will clip your poodle and diddle your pooter. Ricky, the dreamboat, Kinley. Get the fuck up.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You're going to have to live up to that intro.
I know. I don't even know how.
I have no doubt. I have
don't know how
no
to do
doubt. Out of all the people that I've worked with at the zoo, one of the most interesting and well thought out opinions I can ever find on the subject is talking to Ricky. Like, me and him have had, I would say, 200 conversations
Absolutely.
standing on the dock of the birdhouse,
Yeah.
just like 45 minutes. I should be doing some other things.
Yeah.
He should be doing other things. And we're delving into some topic where I'm like, hold on, wait. And then one of the things I liked about him, well, there's two big intro things I'll give you about Ricky that I liked to start with. One is I asked him about something. He went, I don't know. And I went, what? And he goes, I just don't know enough about that to say anything. And I went, fuck, yeah, that's...
Yeah, well, it's
You
not
know-
like me where I just start making up the answer
Yeah,
to the
like-
question. I'll just start crafting the answer. If you ask me anything, ask me about quantum physics, I'll be like, well,
He'd be like, well, string theory in 73 was different from...
yeah.
Which, you know, I mean, like...
Now that it's all politically correct, everything's different, string theory-wise.
Yeah, now it's spun thread theory. And the
Yeah.
other thing was Ricky's face gives away what he's thinking, but he's so good at doing it when they're not paying attention. I remember one of our
If
earliest...
his face is giving away what he's thinking, it's Christmas morning right now. He's so happy. He's the happiest guy. He's got a big smile posted on his
He's got
face.
one of the best smiles and one of the best laughs of anyone I know.
He's got great energy. I like your energy, sir.
But one of our first interactions, they had like an all-employee something at the zoo. This is when I was still in maintenance. And you'll probably be able to guess by the sentence I say who it was who said something.
Yeah.
And I'll even give you that. Some guy was like, I don't know, I mess up sometimes. I guess I'm just a zoofus. and the look that was on Ricky's face for a second while the guy was not looking at him was
You can see actual flames in his eyes.
pure hatred. So I did it where the guy got upset with me because I'm just staring like I literally lips curled up, like nostrils flared, like ugh.
If you look closely into Ricky's pupils in that moment, there's flames, and you could see a silhouette of a dagger being stabbed into a silhouette of a head, like over and over again.
No, there's just like Ricky's is so like it's ninja, so it's just like if you look deep into his eyes, you just see that like, and then just the blood spray, like very anime style. Like,
Oh yeah, the sword opens, the sword closes, and the fucking head splits in half.
Yeah, it was because he's so good at like his face will tell you everything you want to know, unless you're the person talking. Like if you're not paying attention to him for 1 second, his face will give it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you go to look back at him, you know, like where you don't know you saw something, kind of like that Fight Club clip where it's like you don't know you saw it, but you saw it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a thing that he does. So like people will realize like, oh, I should probably stop saying what I'm saying, but they don't know why. And to me, that's fascinating. Like I love, like I pay attention to faces. The micro expressions are my main communication. So someone who can do that is like ninja skills to me.
Yeah.
So I liked him right off the bat. The fact that he actually turned out to be fun, funny, and interesting. And apparently he has an 11-inch dick. That's what I've heard.
11 inches.
That's what I've heard.
Wow, that's impressive.
That's specific.
I cannot.
Confirm or deny.
Can you use that as at the bank as collateral? Like, I'd like a loan. They're like, "What's your collateral?" You just whip the hog out.
Like,
I'll risk 7.
I'll bum you. I'll
like,
bum
hey.
you a 4.
He's like, hey, you think I'm going to fail?
Yeah, come on. I'm like, all right, hold on. Look at
I'm
that
not
vein.
you.
Yeah.
I'm not working at Fifth Third.
Is that
I
a
got shit to do.
Is that a roadmap of Lower Cincinnati?
Wait, is
Holy
that
shit!
a giant Snickers bar?
Did you see that meme where they were like, "Candy's getting so politically
Yeah.
correct now they're gonna
They're gonna
take the dick vein out of Snickers"?
I did saw that today. Saw that today.
But no, I like. There's times I've thrown out opinions where Ricky just shoots them down. Like, hold on, here's a whole different way of thinking about it. And me and him will go back and forth, discuss, and come out like, oh, okay, this is still fine. It's never ended with like, oh, fuck you.
Right. I like people who have different opinions because I might have it wrong.
And I like people who stand their ground. You're both wusses.
Yeah, but
Oh, we get into it.
I'm
Don't think
Yeah.
we just cave. But I like to hear the other side. I'm gonna give
Yeah.
everything at it though. Like,
Hold on.
and that's what I like about Lloyd is I can push back, professionally with all the intellect I have, and I know he's not gonna just be nice and go, well, to save my feelings. He's like, no. Here's this other thing you forget, and then I'm gonna come back. You can't do that with a lot of people.
Right.
And so that's what that's where that's where you learn and grow, right? Like you go, you know what, maybe that's an aspect I didn't know about, or maybe I look at it differently or whatever. I remember one time it was just kind of for shits and giggles, but for a while we were debating whether NBA athletes are better than UFC athletes, and I knew that would get Lloyd.
Oh, you're gonna get him. Yeah.
yeah,
His dick's rock hard. He's got to tuck it in the fucking waistband.
yeah. I'm already smiling.
And I even got a chance.
This is
I
going
don't know
to
if
be a
you saw
45-minute discussion, right? There's no less than 45 minutes of that discussion.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so at your wedding, I don't know if you remember the video, they went around and they're like, you got something to say to the bride and groom? And I'm like, yeah, the NBA players are better athletes than, and it was like, I knew it'd be
He
permanently.
did.
like-
That's why I was already smiling. I knew where he was going. It was one of those things like watching it back. You're like, I was there. I don't. All right.
Did you just have to eat that one? Did you just have to take it on the
Yeah,
chin?
yeah. Like no, that was too good in that
Yeah.
moment.
You can't take that from him.
'Cause
He
it
won.
Was, it was like fresh enough.
Exactly.
It was fresh enough in the moment where I'm like, I feel like I might have won the discussion in real time, but him throwing that on the video was,
Yeah.
mwah. It was,
Like at that point, it didn't matter. It was,
it was
like,
chef's kiss. I'm like, all right, whatever. Even
Hadouken.
even
Yeah,
if I
it's
have
over.
even if I have reasonable arguments against you, I'll back down.
You know how the kid presses all the buttons and then they win sometimes?
That's you.
That's what I did. And then a move came out that I didn't know.
Yeah, exactly.
But on other
mashing.
ones, like,
Animality. What is this? How does this work?
at other times
What, a dragon?
he'll throw something out where I'm like, I don't know who that person is or what that means, and he'll be like, all right, we'll check it out, then come back and talk to me.
Yeah.
And like I did that with like Sam Harris for him. Like, hold on,
Absolutely.
wait. You want, because he was talking about someone who spoke really well, and I was like, no. You want to hear the best version of this? There's a guy named Sam Harris who has, and I argue.
You
with
turned me on to it. I'm a big fan of Sam Harris.
Tell
He's
me
a
if I'm
journalist, right?
No, he's a
Or is he a scientist?
he's a neurobiologist,
Yeah.
neurochemist.
I couldn't have been further off the mark.
Yeah.
Super nerd.
But he also he ends up in like a lot of like atheist debates for whatever reason. It's
Right.
just become a thing where he just because he's one of those guys who just says,
He's like Carl Sagan.
well, I mean, yeah, he's smart in that level, but he's like usually trying to discuss something else, and then they're like, well, what about God? And he's like, all right, well,
Right.
let me
Well,
just.
find some evidence
explain how-
about God.
Yeah, let me break out the blocks because
He's
I
like-
guess we're in kindergarten.
He's like, all right, yeah, here's your crayons, go
Yeah, dude.
color, and I'll explain this real quick. But
Yeah.
that man has a better control of the English language than anyone I've ever heard speak.
Right.
Like that, he's never said a word that isn't exactly what he means.
what is that
Something
feedback
is-
coming
yeah,
from?
I know. I'm trying
That
to
is
figure
driving
out.
me fucking crazy. Hold on.
Is everyone's Wi-Fi on their phones off? Apparently that causes a thing too.
Something's causing feedback. That's okay. Let's ignore it. This is usually a headphone issue that you won't hear on the recording, so just keep going.
Well, it died down, so. All right.
Yeah. So Sam Harris, you tipped me on to that, and it's. I mean, yeah, that was one of our discussions. You're like, you should check out Sam Harris, and yeah.
Yeah,
Does that-
someone tell a dick joke. We're saying smart things. I feel like it's been way too long.
I wanted to talk about this. My favorite Lloyd story.
Please.
I think he knows
Please.
what I'm talking about. Is
I
that
don't.
grocery store
Oh,
incident?
God.
Oh God, what fucking old lady
Have you
did you
heard-
spin
have
kick
you
in the
heard this
mouth?
story?
Not yet. No. I'm
Yeah,
ready for
it's
this.
it's my favorite Lloyd story. It's the one if I tell anybody about Lloyd,
Lloyd's right now.
I tell this story.
He knows this is gonna be a 9-week bit now. Like
Yeah.
we're never gonna stop.
Every episode we're revisiting it.
Every guest, we're gonna retell the story and have like. Do you see what a fucking psychopath is? Hey, hold on, let's just let's break down to our guest right now. Let's retell
So-
Ricky's story.
So I wasn't even there. I just heard it from him on another podcast.
Actually, he heard it from Michael and then from me on another
Yeah.
podcast. I know exactly the story. It was one of those
No,
things.
no,
that-
no. You let him tell it.
I was gonna.
Oh,
I was
okay,
just setting
okay.
it up.
Sorry.
It's one of those things again that hearing it back now, I go, okay, this is not what normal behavior. In the moment, I was like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't anyone do this?
Right, it's like the grandma thing.
Yeah, and I don't even. I want to make. I might not even get it exactly right. But it's basically some dudes in a grocery store being a jerk. You know, how the use scans, and people they line up in one line and they go to each one. There's one line.
Absolutely.
Apparently, some dude decided he's just going to form his own line.
I'm sure Lloyd took to this super well.
this is
Lloyd ignored this, right? Everything he was like, "Wow, what a dick in his head," and then he bought his groceries and left like a reasonable person.
Exactly. And when I heard this story, I'm going. I had a graphic visual image of Lloyd doing exactly what happened. So like most people, that some guy being an asshole does something like that at a grocery store. Most people just kind of passively gets annoyed, but they don't say anything. And Lloyd said he just walked over to the guy as he was getting stuff out of his grocery cart. Lloyd was sticking it back in his cart.
All right, so what happened? The guy knew he. All right. So the guy knew he was dead wrong. So when he pushed his cart up there, he just started stacking shit on the thing to ring, things he was gonna ring up that he hadn't even rung up yet. He just started stacking shit on there. So he knowing that as long as he just did it with confidence, the clerk wasn't gonna say anything. So he sets a bunch of shit on there before he even starts ringing shit up. And he's ringing shit up and setting it into his basket. It's like, why? Well, this isn't okay. And I'm looking around like, why is no one doing anything? I look at the checkout lady and she's not doing anything. So I just walk over and I start grabbing the shit and throwing it back into his cart.
And he was looking at him.
That's what I was going to ask.
There's a look. There's a look.
Just eye contact that's unbroken as he's throwing shit into his fucking cart.
Wait, I physically stepped in between him and his groceries. And then I'm staring between him and the checkout lady, and he was like, dude, I already started bringing stuff out. And I was like, don't care.
Yeah.
Not an issue for me. I got all day. But this is not going to happen. And the checkout clerk's looking at me like, don't make me be involved in this. And I'm staring at her like, oh, no, you're here, honey.
You let this happen.
You're getting paid. This is on your watch. So basically it came down to an argument between me, him, and the checkout clerk where I'm like, there's a 0% chance that he's going to ring this up and leave now without the cops coming.
That was Lloyd's statement. He goes, I was prepared for violence at this point. That was the thing that made me laugh. It was but the guy knew, right? He was out of bounds, right? And everybody, it's just people like that try to run over people.
Right.
And
if you made this guy a taller, thinner tank with just shitty tribal tattoos and like the Disturbed beard, he looked like if Nabisco made Scotty in.
I have a shitty version of this story. I'm in UDF. They have this fucked up ass line that goes all the way down, and then this lady acts like she doesn't see the line of 8 people going all the way down one aisle, and she steps over in a candy aisle like she's gonna step over, and I'm next in line. And as I'm going to go walk over to, they're calling next. She goes to walk, and I was like, nope. And then I walked right in front of her, and she was like, but I was like, no, you weren't. You should go all the way to the very back of the line. I was like, if that guy over there wants to let you in, then he's an idiot. And I don't, sir, you don't look like an idiot. And he's like, why are you doing this to me? Right? I don't want to do this. But my story's with a girl. So, of course, there's no fucking, I'm not heroic by it. This isn't some 7-foot-tall mountain-sized man that I'm fucking taking groceries out of the checkout line. This is just some lady that was a fucking bitch that thought she was going to cut the line. But
also, I know
that does infuriate me, especially if I'm getting fucked in that situation. I'm going to have to wait for you because you decided that you were more important than me. Suck a dick and die forever.
This is how, right, if I want to give you as I'm thinking about it right now, I realize that most people that's a conflict. So in the moment, I stole a line and I kept trying to figure out where I stole it from. And I pointed to the guy. I was like,
"What was the line?"
I was like, "Do I look like an asshole? Do all these people right here in line look like assholes? Because you just confronted us like we're all a bunch of assholes, and that ain't gonna work." I know I heard that somewhere,
or a version of it. I don't know where, but you can take that as yours.
Right in the moment. I was like, where did I hear that from? Blah, blah. And this guy's getting mad, turning bright, with his little bald head, just fucking bright goddamn pink. And the cashier's just petrified, staring at me like, don't make me be involved in this. And I'm like, no, we're all here. We're at camp, baby. We're going canoeing. Jump in the boat, grab a paddle. This is happening. We're there.
Luke, do you do psycho shit like this in public ever?
No.
Nothing comparable? Not even like
No.
driving your car acting like an asshole?
Oh, I drive like a savage when I'm by myself. When there's
Screaming at
people
people?
in my car, I'm a different person because like if someone dies in my hands, I'll probably kill myself.
And
But-
also, you've got a ton of weight in a fucking vehicle that can move 100 miles an hour if something goes down. Like, you're not relying on your body to be the fucking... You're like, I can get out of this situation very quickly if I need to, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so it's different when you're face-to-face with somebody. And you're like, there's real danger involved now. Like, I don't know if I'm...
Correct.
Yeah.
I didn't think this was going to turn immediately into another story where I'm like, all right, yeah, that was fucking ridiculous. I shouldn't have done
This
that.
one's not as ridiculous as burning grandma's pictures, though, so I don't know. But this
Yeah,
it's still a
I don't
fun
know if you-
story. It's
Two
a
different
good one.
levels of that.
There's a couple of stories that I've told where I'm like, you know, the next thing you do, and they look at me like,
Oh,
what the
I did
fuck?
hear that.
I almost feel
I
like
think I heard that on your phone.
we should have heard this story before we heard all the other ones, because then it would be crazy. But now we've heard so much crazy
Well,
from
right,
him.
I
that
wouldn't
it's
have
like,
even thought of that one.
Of course he
as
did
one.
that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he
that's
didn't do
my
that
favorite.
today.
That's my favorite because it's like I totally envisioned Lloyd removing those groceries and staring a dude straight in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And imagining what he was thinking at that moment. Everyone's looking at him going, no, you're the jerk. And someone's standing up to you. And yeah, this needed to happen to you a long time ago.
Yeah.
And now here's your day. I'd love to like meet the guy and be like, did you stop? Like, did you chill out? Like, did you take a day off from being a jerk or do you think about Lloyd at the grocery store every day?
See, that's
Like,
where
you go.
I wish this was like a Truman Show thing where they were like, let's take an autistic person and just fucking pretend they're not until they're in their 30s and just see how they react to everything. Like, I want to like go back and have like that like extra like that, you know, comments from the extra of me being so many different stories, not just this one.
You
but,
want
like,
a blooper reel of that event
Well,
where
no,
the
just
guy
like-
you confronted was like, yeah, man, when I was in that scene, I was like, man, this guy's real
I don't
scary.
It's
know
like
why,
a
but
Truman
yeah.
Show where nobody's rooting for Truman by the end of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I was gonna say for sure, Truman's just a shitbag who's done horrible things a bunch of times. But you're like, oh, he keeps doing crazy shit. I'm gonna keep watching. Like, that's what it feels like when like I'm going through some of these stories because I can't tell you how bothered I was by their reaction to something where they're laughing and being like, "You fucking psycho," and I'm like, I thought this totally made sense to everybody.
Can I interject with something completely off topic, just to address it for the listeners? Right now we don't have video, so you can't see Ricky and all that stuff, and that's because I just built the computer. If you listen to the 4-year anniversary episode, Jonas Leth Olson donated us $300 plus we used a bunch of Patreon money. Thank you, patrons. Thank you, Jonas. Built the gaming computer. Got it running right now. Gonna have to do some extra work to get the cameras all functioning. All the cameras actually work good. We're gonna have like 4K videos and stuff. It's exciting shit, but the Wi-Fi is not working. We gotta download some more drivers for that. But it's coming. It's coming soon. So
Yeah, so the next one should be dope.
absolutely. So you're gonna have we're gonna be able to bring videos back to the show. Maybe we'll start streaming again. It's gonna be fucking cool. I just wanted to interject that real quick.
Yeah,
I
that's
was,
a
I was
good
gonna
point
say it
to
up
make.
front, but I forgot. I forgot to say it. We could keep going back.
No,
to
we definitely should have. But yeah, I mean,
Let's get into our guest. Do you have things about your
yeah.
guest that you want to talk about?
So on that topic, so another reason why that story actually is kind of near and dear to my heart,
Who'd you beat up at the grocery store?
from a behavioral standpoint.
I
was like,
uppercutted
it was-
an
it
old
was a
lady at the
bank.
Piggly Wiggly,
One of
dude.
my things is I love learning about human behavior,
Okay.
and
I wonder
that-
why you two are friends. That's
that was
weird.
one of
No
those
way. You
things.
guys like each other? Andrew. No way.
And that's
It's
one
so
of those
different from all Void's friends.
And that's one of those situations where that guy got a Punisher there and maybe changed his life. And you can easily then go, how did he become the person that thought I should just do this and not put my grocery cart away?
All right,
Because
see,
screw everybody else's car. You know, like that guy got away with running over people probably most of his life. Why he felt comfortable doing that in front of a bunch of other people and didn't care what they thought and didn't expect to be stopped either.
so here's the way I look at someone like that. I go, this is an only child. This person's mom was probably by herself raising him
I thought you were going to say just bye.
and got away. I mean, probably.
Saw her mom eating pussy over and over again.
That's why his
The kid didn't develop respect for her mom because
That's why his stupid Scotty-Ian looking dad left. But no, I'm assuming like he's a kid who just got away with shit his whole life.
Correct.
Right.
and just never like realized like, oh, there's a real consequence,
Right.
Because he looked quote unquote scary. You know what I mean? Like covered in tattoos, bald head, long pointy beard, piercings, whatever. To me, I'm like, oh, look at him. Like to me, he's adorable.
Oh, start pinching his cheeks and shit,
Yeah.
rubbing his stupid head,
Yeah, like I want to. Oh, you waxed it. Look at you go, shiny.
pulling his fucking hood up over his head, over his eyes and shit.
Yeah,
like that.
I'm unimpressed by this guy's like bravado, top to bottom. Maybe I'm wrong when I read that, but I'm assuming most people that behave that way are that kid. They're
Yeah.
the latchkey kid with a single mom that just got away with fucking everything, didn't have brothers or sisters to like fuck them up when they got out of line.
Yeah.
And then they find themselves at 32 years old being stared down by a giant 36-year-old like,
What's up,
Nope.
bitch?
this is where
Yeah.
we're going.
Yeah, I'm gonna big brother you like your. I'm gonna beat you the way that your fucking older brother should have if you had any.
Yeah. So it sounds like I was like more like,
I've had moments in a grocery store with kids where I wanted to say that. Not kids, but you know, like fucking teenagers where you see them just acting the fool in front of their parents. Where I'm just like, I never have done it, never will do it because, you know, fucking charges and everything else. But like, if y'all don't fucking mind your mom, I'm going to beat your ass the way your dad should have before he left. Like, for real. Like, there's just so many moments like that where you're just like, dude, who's not ass kickings and violence don't solve everything, but certain little badass kids just acting a certain type of way. I'm like, one smack wouldn't hurt.
See-
You might get a little respect out of this situation. You might get something.
I take
out of
the
it.
opposite approach. I would go up to the kid and they'll be like, Mom, you don't tell me what to do. I'm like, just call her a cunt.
I walk into the store with earbuds and I don't pay attention to
Because
the
you're a
world around
normal
me.
person.
Correct.
You are a fucking-
Why would I get involved with these whining ass kids? Like
You're a
they're
well-balanced
distracting me
adult.
from the shop. I quickly grab my things. I go to the self checkout. I'm out in 12 minutes, 15 max.
Yeah.
You're also high and entertained. I am neither of those things.
When I walk into the Walmart by my house, it's like walking into the lowest security fucking penitentiary of all time. I feel like I gotta walk in there with different type energy. You gotta walk in there like angry face, just immediately ready to be robbed in the middle of Walmart. I'm like,
Are you
there's cameras
going to the one in
everywhere.
Coleraine?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one Walmart that's not 24/7 because of the constant
Because they
robberies
get robbed
and
every
shootings.
fucking other day.
Because
Yeah.
bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, that's that
No
Walmart.
money at Walmart.
Yeah, well, there's problems there all the time, constantly. Even people like they'll park their grocery cart fucking horizontal in the middle of an aisle and sit there with all their 8 kids ripping shit off the fucking and act like nobody's trying to get through. I'm like, excuse me, fucking everybody. Oh, I'm so sorry.
But
Like, no,
you're
not,
the rudest
not
fuck
sorry.
one asking, excuse me, though.
Yeah, I'm the dick. Like they're looking.
What's
and
on
hear
how
them
you
saying
do it?
something.
I've learned that.
Well,
one.
see, my thing is like Walmarts, I think, are some sort of weird hive mind for the depraved in America. Like, I think if you just drill like 1,000 meters, maybe more, you'll just find like a bunch of sacks of eggs of like humans that'll just like eventually grow. And
I call them scooter people.
they just
Scooter
grow.
people are grown like orca.
They grow rapidly. Yeah,
Yeah, I
they're
assume
dug out
they're-
of the mud.
I assume
Like-
they're
Are
just.
they attached to the scooter? Like you gotta cut. You know, you gotta cut the umbilical cord. You gotta cut the scooter cord.
Yes. The scooter's actually there from the birth of the circle.
I just assume that's where grocery stores like that get the hover around scooters.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
It's like they just hatch one of those, and then eventually it dies, and they keep the scooter, and
Well,
someone
see,
else can
they're
use it.
actually partnered with one at birth. They come out of the cell, the sack egg,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
that's
they're
what I'm
like,
saying.
"Here's your mate. Here's your ride." And then they're just like, "Oh, my steed." And then they ride on, and they like instinctively know how to
My
use one
steed.
permanently.
But they're so fat and sluggish, eventually they die.
yeah.
Because they're also the people like, I'm not getting vaccinated. Hey, bitch, you're 400 pounds and can't breathe normally. If you
Yeah.
get this, you're dead.
Also, please don't. Like I can't wait for
Yeah,
you to
no.
die.
I mean, like,
You're
Well,
taking
'cause
all the good parking
They're
spaces.
coming out of the birthing pod, and the supervisor of Walmart is like, nothing is real except for the 3 for $5 on Fanta Blue.
You think
Blue
when they
Raspberry.
come out of the
Like,
birthing pod, they immediately get pinned to the chest with a fucking handicap parking sticker? Like,
Yeah, it's you have to.
too
No.
fat for normal parking.
And
No,
they
I think-
spank them and they say, "Work for your pizzazz," and they snap at them and
Razzle
they send
dazzle,
them on
baby.
their way. Yeah.
You know my new favorite thing at Walmart, which is not my favorite thing. I don't know if I'm selling that right. These motherfuckers that stand, I don't know what if they're like, "Do you have a Duke Energy bill?" And I just walk past them like I can't hear them. They're like, "Sir." I was like, "I heard you, and I don't want to talk to you." And they're like, "We're not selling you anything." And I was like, "I don't have time. I don't have time, and I have no problem." Everybody, I've heard people say like, I've heard comedians be like, here's what I would say. He's like, of course I didn't say that. It'd take a complete psycho to say that. I'm a complete fucking psycho. I say it every time.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I can give you
I don't
fun
have
ones.
time. Goodbye. And then keep walking and don't make eye contact and fuck you. No, like everything that you can say to
So
them
the
to
two
get-
I usually go to, depending on how rude they are when they approach me. Like if they're nice, I'm like, I'm a felon, I can't vote, and just walk past them because no one says anything back. The other, if they're like aggressive, I'm like, I'm a convicted sex offender, sir, so I have to tell you that before we do, and they're out by the time offender comes out of your mouth.
I take out my magical finger and then I do a couple circles before I point
Put
to
it
my
into a kid.
earbud and I go, can't hear you, and I just keep on going.
Or the other one that ties into what Luke's saying is I'll sign back to them. And I'm confident doing it because I understand enough sign language that I can have a basic person-to-person conversation. I'll miss some here and there, but I'll just go be like, I don't understand. I'm deaf.
Yeah. I'll just pretend like I
realize
grew up
there's-
in an Italian family.
I realize there's no video. Yeah, they either think like, oh, this guy's deaf, or he really wants pasta, and I'll get out of his way. Either way, they'd stop fucking with you immediately.
That reminds me of a story. I was in a bar one time. I was at the E. It's over in Hyde Park. And so it was a group of girls hanging around, and they're like in a circle. And as most
As
guys,
girls do.
Yeah. And, so some drunk dude who's pretty drunk, he wants to talk
They
to
herd
one.
in circles. Keep
Yeah.
going.
And
He knows animal behavior. Just let him talk, man. Let him talk.
So here's the point. The reason that the circle matters, some guy wants to talk to one of the girls, and he comes over and he taps her on the shoulder. Now, that immediately made her irritated,
For sure.
right? So she turns around and started talking like she had a speech impediment. Now, I thought, oh, man, he picked the one girl that had a speech impediment. Like, wow, what a luck. And so the guy just stood there with his beer looking completely stunned, like a deer in headlights. Like he didn't know. And she just, she did like a Lloyd stare, dead in the face, just said something inaudible and stared at him with a serious face. So I'm like, oh, man, that's crazy. What? So then I'm like, that's weird. So I kept watching her to see if she actually had, but she didn't. That was just her way to make him go away. And then I wanted to go up to her and be like, man, that's pretty funny what you did, except for then I thought she was going to do it to me. And then,
Yeah.
but,
Then you find out she really has a speech impediment.
Yeah, for real. He's like, it's hilarious how you pretend to have a
No,
speech
but
impediment
I
to
was
fucking
like-
She was
shrug
like,
off
no, I really do.
like, no, she said something completely inaudible. Like she just made, what was that movie? It was like Nell or something.
Yeah.
With
A tea in the Vin.
She talked like that.
They're too young.
I've never
To
seen
the,
it.
okay.
It was about a lady who grew up in the woods. Like
Invented her own language
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
And
she
then
just said
remembered
something completely
tiny-
inaudible.
It was
to this
basically
guy.
just like a shitty remake of The Miracle Worker, where instead of someone who learned to speak through sign language, they just like had remnants of English left in, but she made her own language. So like in the trailer, it's like a tea in the wind, a tree in the wind, a tree in the wind, and it was just her just talking all.
If
fucking,
that guy had any game at all, he would have smelled some weakness and been like, okay, she's probably been made fun of, so she's weak for that
All right,
reason. I could
hold on.
probably fuck
Let's
her.
back
Or-
up.
He would have
Hold
done.
on,
He would
hold
start
on.
doing like fucking
Let's
predator
back up.
science right there.
Let's back up to where were you?
I was at the E.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one there has game.
Right. And
In
the,
Hyde Park.
the
yeah.
other thing that was interesting is I wanted to be like, I was really fascinated. I wanted to go, like, what pushed you to that point? That wasn't your opening act.
No,
To
that's-
go, I'm going to just, when the guy annoys me, just speech impediment.
Just hit him with
I
the
bet
good
you.
ball.
I bet you. I would have recognized her from Metropolis because I bet you that's where she developed that skill. When I was a bouncer at Metropolis, I bet you I saw her 100 times. I've probably been like, all right, yep.
Isn't that the one you saw Antonio Brown at when there was
Well,
fucking
not-
gunshots?
No, you're talking about Pac-Man Jones.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
Pac-Man.
No, that was
Pac-Man.
downtown. That was near the Poison Room.
Pac-Man Joe.
I was down at the Poison Room, and they were at a bar like 3 doors down, or I don't
Yeah.
know, wherever. I don't remember how far away. I was fucking hammered. But I was like, I think that's fucking Pac-Man Jones. And my buddy that's with me was like, I don't know, man. And I was like, I was about to walk down there, and then I didn't. And then like 20 minutes later, you hear bang, 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 bang.
Wow.
And it was actually, if you listen to the bangs, it was Morse code for Pac-Man Jones.
But and then
That's how you know he's at the club.
Then it's in the news and all that shit.
Right,
like,
right.
And I'm like, I really should have walked over. Like, hey, what's up, Pac-Man? Like, I regretted more because it turned into a whole thing.
Was it actually him shooting?
No, it
Oh,
was
it
just
was
security
just
people.
somebody. I'm like, it could have been. He's
No,
in the
that
news
sounds
on it.
like Pac-Man's gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said,
No, I know that gun specifically.
So, in his defense, so like you see all this stuff about Pac-Man Jones getting in trouble all the time. So they used to do preseason NBA games here in Cincinnati, and me and a couple of my friends would always go. And one year he was there. I think it was a year LeBron started with the Cavaliers. It might have been that year because even what's his name, the boxer, the billionaire.
Oh, Money Mayweather?
Mayweather was there. Like, it was all these people were there at that game.
Yeah, that's when LeBron started, yeah.
Yeah, so Pac-Man Jones was down in the front row, and people saw him, right? And during each little break and stuff, timeouts or whatever, people were coming down. He was taking pictures with everybody. Like, he was just... He wasn't being like he was glad. Like as people came down, he was shaking hands.
No,
and
he's
taking
always
pictures
he's
and
a
all.
personable guy.
Yeah.
He's just a fucking psycho.
Well, and also he hired all of the people he hired to be around him. Like his security was just a big dude that he went to school with.
Yeah.
Like no security experience, whatever. The guy just, as soon as something happened, started shooting people. It was
That's
just,
all the security you need.
It's almost like guys with repeated concussions don't make the best decisions. It's weird.
It's like, oh, this guy was a
weird thing.
6'8" fucking lineman that used to block for me on my college team. Now he doesn't have a job, so he's my head of security. Let's give him an unregistered gun and see how this goes. Like, yeah, the guy, the old the fucking 35-year-old lineman who doesn't remember cursive. Yeah, let's give him a gun and make sure make sure I'm safe. Bang, 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 bang.
This next thing's a little off the mark of usual bastard sermon talk, but I've been getting so excited about the playoff games recently and how good the Bengals are doing. I want to talk a little football. If that's all right.
I'm making Cody into a football fan.
I'm really enjoying the postseason, and I was enjoying the season, but I wasn't watching the games that much. Now I've been actively looking up. I didn't realize, because I've literally never really watched football my whole life, or I'd have like a cable provider, which there's cable at my house, but only my grandpa uses it. And all my shit's Wi-Fi, but I can like sign in. So I'm like, oh, so this one's on CBS. So I got a fucking Wi-Fi provider, and I can watch it in my room. Or this one's on Paramount Plus and shit like that. So the Bengals fucking obviously crushed it against the Titans. That was fucking sick. Like they were tied up. You thought they were going to overtime. They made the field goal. Fucking Connor McLager himself. Fucking Evan McPherson comes out and fucking. I loved Anthony Tank Mansfield's joke where he's just like, Evan McPherson needs to open up a fucking a chicken restaurant that only serves legs.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, they crushed it. I was so stoked for them. I thought that they were going to get the one playoff because they're such a young team. Like they just built this team. Everything's just coming together for them. They really had some juice. They did what they needed to do for Cincinnati. Everybody would have been fine if they lost this game. They wouldn't have been fine. Nobody would have been happy,
right.
But everybody would have been happy. Like
just
they did a good.
Far,
everybody would have proudly in Cincinnati stood behind the Bengals. This is the first time I think ever in all of Bengals history that postseason during a playoffs game that they won when they weren't on their home turf. That was the first time ever. Apparently, that was a stat that because the only other. Because they hadn't won one since '91. That was home, and then the other ones that they won were all at home. We probably need Schubert, but this was a stat that somebody had said. So they broke that record by doing this, and now they're going to play against the Chiefs. I want to get into that in a second, but when I watched football before and I followed the Bengals in like the 2013 season when they did real good, and then they got that weird call in the playoff games against the Steelers and it fucked them for the game. That was the last season that I watched. So I mean 9 years ago, and I only paid attention to the Bengals. I got so excited about football recently, and with the conversation I had with Lloyd, that I was like, I'm gonna watch the next playoff game, and I didn't get to see it until it was at quarter 4. And I was like, all right, dude, fucking turn it on. I turned the bitch on, and then
see one of the most ridiculous games that's ever been played.
The craziest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life. Even the NFL, I looked it up on YouTube after because I had to walk away and I missed it. And I was like, fuck this. And I was like, I watched the highlights later, and then I go and search it, and then I looked up it was like 20. When I looked it up that night, 21 minutes prior to the game ending, fucking NFL page posted, here's the greatest game that's ever been, like one of the greatest fucking playoff games that's ever been posted. And it's the Bills versus the fucking Chiefs. It was they were at KC, and it was fucking the Bills had it. In the fourth quarter, they were tied up. I don't remember the exact score, but they weren't tied up. They were the Bills had it by 3 points, by 1 field goal, right? And they had 13 seconds on the clock, and it was getting to a point to where
everyone's hugging each other. It's done,
dude. There's a point where they were like, "Fucking, who's the quarterback for the Bills?" I know Mahomes is for the Chiefs.
Josh Allen.
Okay, or I thought it was. Wait, who is it?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Okay, so they were like, I thought it was Tannehill. Is that the Titans?
No, that's the Titans.
Okay, yeah. So they were like, yeah, Josh Allen's fucking family's here. They've got 38 members of his family.
Yeah.
The cameras go before the game's over to his family. They're hugging,
Celebrating.
they're smiling.
Wow.
You could see defeated Chiefs fans everywhere. Like it's a beautiful moment for the Bills. Everything's like wrapped up, but
13
they still
seconds
have
on the clock.
13 seconds
And
then
3 timeouts.
and then fucking Mahomes throws like 2 giant passing fucking like
Tyreek
first
Hill.
down. They got fucking 15 yards on the first one, 20 yards on the next one. He's in field goal range, but barely. And you couldn't write this fucking game. Like if you wrote this in a movie, you would be like, "This is so fucking unbelievable
It
that I
is
don't
exactly
even believe."
what you would see
It's
in a movie.
bananas.
It was that ridiculous.
They had 3 seconds at fucking. They had
4
first
seconds to
first
get
and
the
like first and 10, but there's 55 fucking yards. They're going for the field goal. The guy that's kicking the, I don't know the kicker for the Chiefs, but whoever he is, he missed the first field goal in the game. So again, another plot point in this movie that you couldn't write better. Like he already missed it. The fucking
He
like
missed an extra point in that game.
if you wrote this movie, you couldn't make it more ridiculous if you were like Mahomes, like his mom died of toe cancer, and the fucking coach was racist, and the racist coach had a heart attack. That's the only way that you could make it more
And
fucking.
then the surgeon who
crazy.
tried to fix his mom's toe cancer was the one who treated the kicker who ended up kicking the game.
It's
with-
genuinely the only way that you could make this crazier than real life actually played out. 3 seconds to go, he makes a 50. It's something like 55-yard field goal, which is fucking bananas. I mean, we're talking about what 115 feet that he's kicked this, and it barely makes it. It fucking, I mean, it's feet away from hitting the left side of the post. He
Ain't no
makes it.
Conor
It
McGregor.
goes into overtime. They do the flip, and they have the Bills call it, and the Bills called it wrong, and it goes to the Chiefs, and the Chiefs take it all the way down, and they get
Touchdown,
they get the touchdown in overtime, and I was like, that was the craziest football moment that I've ever seen. It's almost like you don't want to root for the Chiefs, but after that, I was like, if they win, like you got to make the movie. Like if they win the Super Bowl this year, you got to make the movie, dog.
Here's the
Like,
thing.
this is the movie.
I've never been so like bummed out for another. Like I don't care about either of those teams.
For the Bills, though, oh
Like,
my god,
in my opinion,
devastating.
Well, I'm saying I wanted the Chiefs to win because we're more of a passing team. I don't want to be in negative 9-degree weather, fucking trying to have them throw the ball in receivers' hands, dead numb, not catching the ball. Like cold weather, you have to run more.
And that's not what we do.
Joe Mixon can run just fine. He ran all over the Chiefs last time. I want that to be a part of the thing, but I still want the option of being like, playing how we play. So I wanted Kansas City to win. 1, we've already beat them just a couple weeks ago, and 2, we're not going to be playing in like fucking a foot of snow. I'm not on the fucking team. Why do I keep saying we? But no, watching Josh Allen go from like literally like his lineman hugging him like, thank you, you won this game for us. Like you kept running on plays and getting the first downs and doing shit, and like everyone on the team like congratulating him because they just scored in a super unlikely situation, left 13 fucking seconds on the clock.
And also, there was literally like 3 touchdowns in between that over the course of 10 minutes.
There
before
was
that,
25 points scored in 1 minute and 52 seconds on the clock.
it was the craziest fucking thing that I've ever seen. And I was like, I don't just feel like this is crazy because I just started watching football again. I feel like this is bananas in a way that, like when I watched the Titans versus fucking the Bengals and I saw 9, I was texting Lloyd the entire time throughout the whole game. And I was like, why do I feel like this is a crazy number of sacks? And he was like, because the offensive line is playing like dog shit. And they said at the end of the game, 9 sacks is tied for the most QB sacks in a postseason game ever.
Or in a
of
game
all
that's
fucking-
been won. Last person to do it was Donovan McNabb.
When was that? What are we
Early
talking
in his
about?
career, fucking 90s.
Okay, so it's been fucking almost 30
For someone to be
years.
sacked 9 times and win. I'm sorry for all you non-football people.
It's
that I
actually
get-
good that Burrow did that because instead of getting pressured into throwing the ball, he could have thrown fucking 3 interceptions. That's what a bunch of other
That's what
Bengals
happened with the
quarterbacks would have
Titans.
done over and over again, and they didn't. Fucking the Bengals killed it, and I bet Joe Burrow had to take fucking 95 aspirin and fucking a couple Vicodins after that game. But like, back to the.
He probably just puts his giant dick back in 1 inch. Like, I'll just sacrifice an inch to feel better for a month. Like,
But just
I think
as-
you can do that when.
But just as crazy as that game was, they followed it up with an even fucking crazier game against two teams I didn't know or give a fuck about. I mean, you know Mahomes, and you know the fucking I have the dude with the mustache, the fucking the coach. What's his name? The
Phillips.
Guy, you've seen him there for fucking forever, right?
Andy Reid?
Whoever the guy is, that's there always.
Kansas City?
Yeah, Kansas City's. Yeah.
Yeah,
Older
that's Andy
dude.
Reid.
Martin Kreese.
Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Shut up, Gundam Boy. This is not for you.
Well,
I can say names.
I know.
after that crazy
I actually
win.
enjoy that you were doing that.
After that crazy win, then you get this, and I was like, "Holy motherfuck!" So everybody's celebrating Cincinnati side.
Well-
Even Glenn Childress was posting like, "We already crushed the." Everybody's excited except for your boy Alex Schubert, and I actually liked what he had to say about it on this post. He was like, "We're not going to be at home for this one. We already crushed them. They're looking for revenge, and this is the fucking AFC Championship. So like,
Yeah,
we're."
but Alex is a scared person. That's
I
all.
mean, I want to be excited about it, but the points that he made, like they're going for blood on this one.
I'm
aren't
saying,
they?
but the opposite of that is you're playing a team that does the things we're bad at stopping on their home turf and weather that makes you have to play a certain type of way that's not our best. So it is much better that Kansas City won. For
Cut their
us
balls
overall.
off.
I mean, you're
Yeah, just crush the confidence.
I'm sorry we're doing so much football talk. I've just
I'm not worried about
literally
it.
I've been excited about football in a way that I haven't been excited for in 9 years, and like I've always wanted to like football, but if I can't root for the Bengals, then I'm not gonna fucking yeah, fair weather fan. Sure, yeah, I don't want to.
okay,
It'd be like if you had a friend that kept going to prison for fucking the last 30 years, and you just be like, yeah, that's just TJ. TJ be going to jail, and I'm like, nah, fuck TJ, dude. I don't want to hang out with TJ anymore. Every time he's getting me into crazy shit, and I keep rooting for TJ doing better
Listen,
and getting a job.
TJ's robbing other people, but has he robbed you?
Exactly, it's exactly
he's
that.
good to me.
That's what matters. That's why
Like
we
being
care
a
when
Bengals
TJ
fan
is
is like
out.
being a Bengals fan really was like being an abused wife. It was like they did things for me.
And Burrow's so
Especially
likable.
that-
Like Burrow's like fucking Macaulay Culkin. Like he looks like him if he smokes cigars after every
Yeah,
fucking.
he's got that like Rand confidence where he's like, I don't care if you like me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I do. Where you're like, all right, well, fuck it. Now I'm on your team, man. Like, cool.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and that
So
comment about Cincinnati being boring, nothing to do here. I was laughing. I think he was talking about there's no strip clubs here. That's just my
No,
thing.
So he
That could be it.
elaborated
Versus all the
on
other
it,
cities.
but no one
Huh?
he elaborated on it, but no one printed the shit he elaborated
Oh.
on. It was basically like, oh, the city's actually being reasonable and not having a bunch of giant events in the
Oh,
middle of all
For,
this.
for celebrating them.
Yeah, or no, just like
Period.
you
Oh.
go to Cleveland and they're having fucking inductions at the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame right next to the stadium after games, and
I see. Interesting.
he's like, the city's not doing all of that shit. It's kind of what he was hinting
Interesting.
at, but no one gave him.
Okay, but like, it's
Were they
important to
painting
get
Gundams?
D.
No.
Snyder and the Rock and Roll. How are we gonna live as a society if we don't get D. Snyder into the Rock and Roll Hall
someone
of Fame
recognize
tonight?
someone please recognize the impact of Twisted Sister on the zeitgeist. Shut the fuck up, Cleveland. We understand. You can't go on the water because it sets on fire. Just, we get it. You're bored. Okay, so are we.
Once I started looking into other teams, now that I'm actually getting excited about football, I think no matter what happens, Bengals lose next time, I'll be excited to watch football next year for once. And this is the first time that I'm like, I could actually become a football fan. Like,
That's
with
how it happens, though.
This is
That's
exactly how it's happened for me.
Yeah,
I feel like 28's a little late to start into liking a sport, but god damn it if I'm not excited about football. But like I understand the plight of Browns fans and Jaguars fans and shit like that, because I started looking up statistics. Like the fucking the Browns went 0-15. I've looked it up for everybody to see who's in the Super Bowl the most, who's won the most rings. I mean, all this shit. And who's Vince Lombardi. I was watching highlight footage from all the Super Bowls and shit. I've been really getting into it. But fucking
Hold on.
He's covering his bases, Lloyd. Don't tease him, okay?
That's a baseball reference. All right. You had to look up who Vince Lombardi was.
Oh no, I didn't have to look up who he was. I knew who he was. We talked about it.
right.
I just didn't ever watch a
thought
game
that's
that
what
was
you just
coached
said.
by him.
I was like, hold on, wait.
I mean, he died in 1970, so
I know,
like
but I
even
mean,
if
have
you
a
know
penis, so I assume.
yeah, fucking the first Super Bowl, Green Bay Packers.
The cheesehead, dude. Fucking yeah.
Hey, Luke. You know what you just did?
What's up?
You bought yourself a whole bunch more reads where I talk aggressively through your reads. you know, you just did that, right?
3 episodes.
What, isn't he a cheesehead?
Going for 4? You want to go for 4 episodes?
All right. So anyway, back to Ricky. Away from football, we can talk football more.
I'm sorry.
later.
I've been so excited about football. I wanted to talk about
I
it.
do want to throw one more football reference.
Yeah, go on.
So remember when Philadelphia won and they literally had a birth rate spike 9 months later?
Yeah.
I was wondering if we win, is that going to
For
happen?
sure, yes.
Like,
So-
do you remember people were like having sex in public in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
they were
that's 'cause it's
going
Philly.
bonkers.
On the top of telephone poles that they were toppling over, and they were fucking on the
how
cop
did they
cars
get
that were
up
on
there?
fire.
They were going bonkers.
There were literally people who broke out of the cell they were in the holding cells of the stadium and went into the female area, and they caught people having sex there in Philly
you-
because it's
Are
Philly.
you saying they
These-
broke
you-
out of prison to get like
Well,
rapes?
Are you really
stadium
asking
prison.
if Cincinnati's as trash as Philly? Because yes.
No.
The answer is yes,
We're not-
but smaller.
I don't think we're as confident.
I'm saying,
Hey,
Yeah,
good
we're
point.
less
That's
confident
a good
trash.
distinction.
we're not as trash just because we've never had as much of a reason to show how trash we are.
Right, but once we do, you'll see our garbage vein or Rumpke like veins just
But if you
filling up
think
with
in Kansas City, fucking
Loose
Missouri,
cans
the
and
past
used
few
condoms.
years that spike hasn't happened, I bet you. I want to see the other side of that. I want to see every time the Chiefs lose in the playoffs, how many domestic violent cases happen that night. How many women just get fucking wrecked by their shitty husband? who's
I'll be
pissed off
honest.
that they
As a
lost?
person, I've been to Kansas City twice in my life. I don't know if you guys
You
have
have to
been
do
there.
that bit on fucking
There-
fuck you, we like the Bengals. Sorry, keep
Their,
going.
no, their airport looks like it was built in the 40s, and then they
It
kind of
looks like
retrofitted.
It looks
for
like a
modern.
barn that someone asphalted shit around.
And we went to this Applebee's, and the like the vestibule area smelled like someone had been pissing in there. Like
'Cause they
Kansas
had-
City is just a depressed town. Like
It's-
the first time I went there.
And it doesn't even know which state it lives in.
I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like blues or whatever, and then I was like, I just want to leave.
Talk about a lack of confidence.
Like
Like Kansas City is 2 different cities in
Yeah,
2
yeah.
different
And
states.
And for the record, their downtown is kind of like our over the Rhine now. Apparently, like they,
Yeah,
they have an
there's
area.
some-
Well, when your city is based off of racism, and what else are you supposed to fill
But
it
like
with?
outside,
I'm gonna
of
say
that.
it's also the exact area you think has a Barnes and Nobles has a Barnes and Nobles. If you're in Kansas City and you don't know where to go, pull up Pete Holmes and Google Barnes and Nobles. Drive there, find a hotel close to that, stay there. All right, so I always call Kansas City
Barnes and
is just hick Detroit.
Uh,
You go in Detroit, that airport, the second you get inside, smells like somebody pissed. The whole path you walk to the baggage claim.
yeah, Kansas City.
They actually use piss to cover all the tiles.
Like I
They
feel
sealed
like-
all the tiles.
I
and
feel like if you had like one of those
aged
little
piss.
Dexter lights, you could just follow the piss and blood trail to baggage claim.
It's because someone shitted all the way there,
Yeah.
and they had to cover it up with an equally
So in
terrible
Detroit,
smell.
I feel like it's blood and a little bit of piss. In Kansas City, I feel like it's piss and a little bit of blood.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're basically, if both versions of racism, like set a claim in a city, it's at those 2 airports.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was
shit.
wild.
The last bastion of racism. that
And then you
Kansas
have like
City
Denver airport in the middle. Like,
Right.
hey, we're
It's like a
just,
modern airport.
they're like, hey, we're just trying to chill here, and everybody's like, no, there's lizard fucking Illuminati.
They
and
say
you're
it's like
they're like we saw
secret
the
underground.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
Illuminati.
all this understructure you built, and it's on public record. That's just a place for them to push snow.
You know
when
what's
it
interesting to me?
snows?
How are they not a dominant football team when they have to play at that fucking higher elevation all the time? Don't you think that
There was something to that.
Well,
when
They
you
used
get
to-
a higher VO2
No,
max
no, no.
from playing like that all the time?
So if you look at fight camps, there's a bunch of people train in
Colorado.
Denver, Albuquerque, like places with high elevation. Mexico City, higher elevation, both of them. There's fighters that go there to train and work. Yeah. The problem is places like Denver, where yes, your athletes are training at a higher altitude.
Oh,
so
but they're all doing dabs. Yeah.
No,
okay,
but-
the dabs will fucking ruin you.
But it's such like an emotionally charged city. Denver was like, oh, we'll just have John Elway be the general manager. Like, oh, you mean fucking shaky head who was a fucking 5'9" quarterback who got fucking mauled for years? You're gonna let him make financial and personnel decisions for your team just because he was a decent quarterback for a few years? You're just gonna let him pick who we draft for the team? Okay. He can't read. He forgets his wife's name every Thursday.
Well, be memorable. Maybe she's a shit ass wife.
Well, I mean, sure, you could take that, but I'm just saying, if let's say you had a multi-billion-dollar organization,
Yeah.
and the whole city went, "Hey, we like this guy," and you have a conversation with that guy, and
John
he goes,
Elway dresses like Scuba Steve
"It's
when
not."
he leaves in public.
You'd be amazed how close you are to.
Wow. I didn't know about
Really?
Like hearing him talk, I'm like, who lets him? Like,
Does he
I
have a
wouldn't-
snorkel on?
Like, I wouldn't let him cut his own meat at a restaurant.
Does he know that Colorado's landlocked? Somebody tell him Colorado's
Like, I
landlocked.
feel like in front of people, he probably stabs a steak with a fork and then just hits it with a spoon until the piece comes off. Like, no one lets this. Like, I feel like no one even would let this man have a knife because they're afraid he would like cut off his own toes because he saw it on Survivor Man. I don't like. And they're like, oh yeah, just make decisions that affect the whole franchise, the multi-billion-dollar franchise. So at this point, it's very much like how I
John
feel
Elway's
about.
way is like, I saw a great football film. I just saw a lot of footage from this great team. Adam Sandler was running it with
Yeah. He's like, dude, did you know we should draft Nelly? And they're like,
what's Bob Sapp doing?
he's like, hold on. Did you ever see
What's
this
he
dude?
up to?
Did you ever see this dude, Michael Irvin? They're like, yeah, he played for the Cowboys years ago. He's 55 years old. He's like, dude, did you see him in that movie though?
Did you see him in Longest Yard?
Dude,
Dude, he was
longest
crazy.
yard, Joey Diaz, left tackle. Let's go.
I know Great Colley's dead, but that's all right.
Can of corn, I'll be fine. Somebody give me a Diet Coke. Like I feel like those are like real. Like I feel like people had to talk John Elway down from those decisions. I feel very much the same way I do as like all the people who are like, I'm so sad Meatloaf died. I'm not at all. He's like, I would do anything for life. But I won't get vaxxed. Like, fuck you. All right, fat. Yeah, you went, oh, if I die, I die, but I'm not going to be controlled. And then you die. I don't feel bad for you. That's like, they're like, oh, hey, did you know Lane Stanley died of a drug overdose? Yep. Sure did.
I want to get into more of this with you, Lloyd. We're going to keep talking about it. I'm sorry to cut you off there. We're coming up on 50 minutes. We have a bit that we want to do right now.
Not a bit. We want to do a fucking thank
Well,
you.
no,
to
it
our
is
new-
it's a thank you and it's a bit. We're gonna talk about some shit that we got. Luke, can you set this up?
Yeah, so our friend at Bangin' Snacks,
Spell
our
that.
possible new
Or
sponsor,
don't.
BANGINSNACKS.net. They sent us a little care package. They listened to our last episode when we talked about the website and things on it that we each wanted to try, and they hooked us up. So we're going to taste test these things for you guys, and if any of them sound good, or perhaps you want to check out the website yourself, go ahead and go to banginsnacks.net and use code word bastard or bastards, plural with an S, and you'll get 15% off. I said 10% last time. It's 15.
Also, it's important to say that they haven't paid us anything for this yet. I mean, we've got a code and stuff like
Correct.
that. They sent us a care package, so that's what we've got, just full disclosure. So they didn't tell us what to say. I'm going to give an honest review. If this sucks, I'm going to tell you it
Correct.
sucks.
We all are.
If it's bad, if it's good, whatever. But we're going to pass these around. You're going to hear a little crinkling of chips. You're going to hear a little biting, a little chewing and stuff like that. So we're going to do a little snack review because it's kind of cool. We actually got a fucking sponsor that's got some shit.
Not only
Luke
that
wanted
has
the
some
grilled squid ones. So
No,
let's
I
give.
wanted the grilled squid.
I meant Lloyd. I don't know why this is a new thing for my. I'm living with a 92-year-old man that fucking calls my son Doug, and he's like, "Wait, Dez. His name's Dez." No, I'm doing this
smell it
because
from
there's two L names. Can I get a initial
Okay,
smell?
so we're gonna try first. They're from
Baked squid.
They're from China. Lay's grilled squid flavor.
Wavy. Lays.
Go ahead and grab yourself one.
Give Ricky
Hyped
one.
on this shit.
Grab yourself. Let's try this
Damn,
out.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Grilled squid.
Can I be the first? I love this. I really enjoy. I would eat. Hold on, let me get a couple
bad.
more.
I
Put
thought
more of
this was
these.
going to be garbage, but it's really good.
I'm not mad at this at all. These are dope.
Well, you
Hold on.
requested
Take
these.
like
You're
3.
keeping this bag.
Take like 3 and put them in your mouth.
I just did.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Damn, those are good.
Lloyd,
Yeah,
talk about
yeah.
it. What are you tasting right now?
It's got like a touch of the mesquite, but without like the barbecue kind of flavor on top of it you're used to.
Yeah.
It's got a little
So it's got
chili, a little
That's what
like
I'm saying, it's
chili
got that-
powder.
I'm saying it's got that grill flavor, but it's got a little chili powder, like how a lot of squid is
Yeah.
served.
I've never had squid before.
It's got the umami, like it's almost has some fish sauce in it, like the umami's like the
so
presence
I am
of glutamate.
tasting some sort of authenticity.
It's
To
Yeah.
got like a very, it's got very like a almost like a
Heavy MSG, definitely. That's when you get the glutamate would be like ketchup, like mushrooms, egg, egg
I think
yolks.
I kinda get
stuff
that
like
at the
that.
end.
The way that you get that like taste on your palate. That's like, is this salty? Is that what I'm tasting?
No,
it's
but
not
it's like-
quite
it's-
salty. It's
I'd
not
say-
quite beefy, but it's almost on that same thing. but it's-
heavy savory.
yeah, it's fucking delicious, is what it is.
Yeah,
It tastes
it's really
really
fucking
fucking
good.
good.
All right, so
Yeah,
check
agreed.
that out. Grilled squid.
And
on
it's got-
Bangin' Snacks
I'm
on
excited to let Thomas try these.
They're little cut up. They look like wavy Lay's chips that have been cut up into little pieces and stuff like
Well,
that.
they are
Those
wavy
are
Lays. They're
those
supposed
are
to be.
yeah, legitimately delicious. These more regular Lay's, the ones that he's opening right now.
These are from Japan. These are Japanese Lay's Numb and Spicy Hot Pot. It definitely has an interesting smell compared to the
This one has a bad
grilled
smell.
squid.
I don't smell it. Hold on, before you eat it, smell it.
I can smell it from
It smells
here.
like
It kind of
dirty
smells like,
socks.
yeah, I was gonna
Wow,
say it
that's a
kind of smells
weird
like feet. No,
It smells like fucking bo kind of.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I know the flavor. It's like the spicy Masago
I don't like this
based
one.
on the smell.
I don't hate it. It's spicy on the end. It opens up with like this weird flavor profile that you're not used to. I mean, maybe as a Western snack consumer, I can't get over the smell. I can't even eat the second one.
smell is pretty
That one's a
weird.
no go for me. Can we move that completely? Like, put that by the stove or something. That smells fucking
I
horrific.
didn't hate the taste,
That one
but the
smells really
smell
bad.
Yeah, that was rough.
really
That's gem
But
socks.
you know what?
It smells like gem socks. No thanks.
check it out if you like hot pot. I know. I guess I mean.
No, hot pot's delicious. That is
Oh,
not.
okay.
Don't check that out if you like hot pot. That's
Yeah,
a
if you try like hot pot ramen noodles,
some of these
it's
gonna
be very
miss. We're gonna be
different.
honest about this. Some of these aren't gonna fucking hit it.
And also,
you know
there's
what I mean?
people out there who are gonna fucking love that.
Yeah,
that's
some
true.
people.
That's true. So don't
And also
don't knock
get,
it. you know?
get creative. Like, you want some different snacks in your life. You're eating the same shit. You're eating the same fast food. You got all the same fucking places. You're tired of all the shit that you're getting. Hit up fucking Bangin' Snacks. Get you a little fucking care crate of some different shit. Yeah, maybe you don't like 2 of them. The other 3 are gonna nail it. I bet.
Also, I'm gonna say
what do we got here? Oh,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
say when you first like linked the site to us, I was expecting things to be way more expensive than they are.
Yeah.
Like
What are the
9
prices? What are we
like
talking
$9
about?
for a bag of these for something you just can't get here.
Not at all. Yeah. And isn't that Jungle Gyms? Like, you could go to Jungle Gyms and maybe every once in a while, Jungle Gyms, if you're willing to drive to Jungle Gyms, walk through the entire store, go to the specific aisle, maybe they'll have it. Maybe. But probably
Maybe
not.
and probably not.
And you'll spend.
I'll tell you what.
Probably
After eating
not.
a few of these, I'm certain I'm buying another bag of these.
That's
I'm not trying to be like, here, let
the
me
grilled
pump up
squid
our
ones-
The
sponsor.
grilled squid are dope.
Those are fucking good.
Let me
I
wash-
I want to mash those up and mix them into ramen noodles.
Yeah. Oh, hold up! I gotta.
I was just gonna
present
grab. I was
these,
just
big
gonna
boy.
grab one. Just gonna grab one. Waiting for you to talk about it. I'm not gonna eat it yet.
Don't. I
I've
thought you
had-
were gonna shove
I've
it
had
right
these
in your
before,
mouth.
and they're fucking
Okay,
dope.
so these
These
are
smell
from
great.
These are from Japan. I
I've
can
had these
read
before.
the katakana on the front. It's Cheetah's barbecue. It's barbecue, but it's not barbecue sauce. It's like on the back. It's got a kebab of steak and peppers and stuff. It's like meat barbecue.
You know what a beef ramen packet smells like? It smells exactly like that. Eating it. It's got sweetness
That's really
on the front. When you eat it, it's got the sweetness. It melts in your mouth the way that you
Got
want to
just
fucking.
a touch of bite.
Little bit of bite right on the back end. And it's
That's
just got
good.
flavor to it. That's fucking delicious. Let me get one more of those. One
that-
more of
anybody?
those.
It's like potato
Another one?
wedges with
Yeah, yeah.
seasoning salt, just a tiny bit. Like when a place does it right.
Yeah.
This Bangin' Snacks is cool because they fucking, like, you can choose your shit. Normally with these other care package snack services, they're like, here's the... I remember when Pat had one. He had a candy one. And he was like, here's all the candy from Norway. And all the candy would suck. And it'd be like, why can't you just pick and choose your candy? And he's like, that's not how it works. With this place, you can fucking absolutely pick and choose your care package, which is way better.
And you're not paying an absurd amount, like, every month to get whatever the fuck they give you. Like, go ahead and pick what you want, put it in your cart, and buy it then and there.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it sounds like we're just doing, like, an extended, like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Like, we literally have just got this box of stuff from them. They haven't paid us. They haven't whatever. So
hey, if they don't like it, it's a free podcast. Fuck them. But for real, check this place out.
I'm just trying to make it sound like we're not doing like we're saying this is awesome because it's a read that we're being paid for.
I just said the last one smells like
awesome.
gym shoe fucking socks. Like they were terrible, but that next one was genuinely delicious. Luke,
like,
what's the next one? Let me grab one before you tell me what it is.
Like a little bit of a fuck you to them because
I'm gonna give Lloyd a couple.
I know I'm about to order baked squid wavy lays. Like, I know that's going to happen.
Ricky.
That's going to be a part of your regular online purchasing.
They just added like another fucking $18 a month, whatever.
What do we got here?
All right, so this next can, it's not a bag, it's a can because we're eating Pringles, ladies and gentlemen. This is Pringles Rice Fusion Indian Chicken Tikka Masala flavor.
This is the one that I got excited about. You got excited about grilled squid. I got excited about tikka masala. Now, I'll tell you, smelling it, haven't eaten it yet. I'm a man that makes chicken tikka masala constantly.
This smells like your chicken tikka masala.
I make curries. It smells exactly like it. It smells exactly like garam masala.
It smells a little too on the nose
It's-
before I eat it.
It smells like the sauce and the herbiness.
It smells like garam masala, which is like just a curry.
did you get
If
some?
you're not familiar, garam masala is like the mixture of spices that you would make a curry out of. I'm going to eat it now, but it's so on the nose. It's crazy to me. If it doesn't taste exactly like chicken tikka masala, then I'll be fucking surprised.
It does.
A little on the masala side, a little less on the yogurt and chicken side.
No, that's perfect. That's an exact tikka masala sauce.
To me, it's a little too herby, but it's not bad.
That is, that's
That's
fucking,
all yours, baby.
Dude, I love this. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it?
That's probably my least favorite.
Least favorite right there?
Yeah, it's the herby side stays longer.
The herby
that's
side
a better
does
way to
stay
say
longer,
it.
yeah.
Like you lose like the yogurt.
That's perfect
Chicken
for me.
flavor.
That literally tastes like everything that I want out of my tikka
I thought
masala.
it was delicious.
I think it's fucking amazing.
Cause I've only had chicken tikka masala once, and Cody made it for me. Unfortunately, he made it for me on a day where like I had just eaten before we recorded the podcast that night in his grandpa's basement. But it was good, and that's exactly what it reminds me of.
It would help it with all the cream that I had. Yogurt, so you would think that it would add a lot of yogurt. Yogurt's actually the marinade that they use for the chicken a lot. So when I make tikka masala, I marinate chicken in yogurt and fucking garlic and freshly ground ginger and garam masala overnight. So that's where the yogurt will come from, but the creaminess that you're getting actually isn't from yogurt. The tang and the creaminess comes from the tomatoes that you put into the sauce, and the creaminess comes from cream or coconut milk and coconut cream, which I've been using as an alternative. Because, I mean, a lot of Indian food is vegetarian, so kind of been experimenting
Can you
with
tell
that.
someone works in the kitchen?
Not anymore. I quit that job.
Don't you have a new job working?
I'd quit that job, yep.
Really?
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
All right.
So last but not least, we've got Doritos Mexico tacos.
Taco lime.
Yes,
I've had these before too. They're fucking.
I'm excited.
These
Let's
are
see how
from
much I like the Doritos.
Japan as well.
These are from Japan?
Yes, at least the branding is.
So this is like Japan's version of Mexican food, right?
Yeah. Well, so over there, there's a difference between.
I'm getting a lime when I smell it.
Right, so
Getting
this
a
is-
lime chili powder smell off of it.
I will say this is definitely like secondhand knowledge, but over there's like a big divide between like Tex-Mex and Mexican food. Like to them, those are basically like the difference between Italian food and Mexican food.
I don't love this. I don't hate it. You know what it reminds me of? You ever get the Tostitos that have a little bit of hint of lime that you use for salsa? That's exactly kind of what it tastes like with a little bit more salt and
Taco
chili powder.
seasoning.
It's not, taco. I'm getting the cumin on the back of my throat
There's
right there.
you
not
may
bad, though.
be thinking,
not bad.
listeners, that it's the taco flavored Taco Bell logo flavored chip that you see at like Myers and stuff. It's not that. It's definitely seasoned and flavored differently.
I'll
and
say
what
this:
you may
by
think
itself,
it is.
by itself, the chip would be a 5 out of 10. But if you're dipping this chip into
I was
a
gonna
nice
say
salsa,
paired up with something. This is probably amazing.
This is a 10 out of 10 chip to dip with a salsa. But
Yeah.
don't eat it by itself.
with salsa.
As a dipper,
That's probably
dipper chip with a little
amazing.
salsa, a little
I was gonna go
queso,
with cheese. With
little
queso.
queso cheese, little fucking salsa. You get a little fucking salsa verde. You
gotta
got
piss.
regular salsa. Any of that shit would be phenomenal with that chip. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. I'd give it a fucking 8 out of 10 as a dip and chip.
I'm good, thank you.
Little dip and chip situation. Is that everything that we have right there?
That's everything we got from Bangin' Snacks. That was a little care package.
That was great. That was.
Our,
I thought
our
that.
homie gave me.
I thought way more of them were gonna suck. Those were pretty good.
They were amazing. Yeah, the spicy squid, probably my favorite. The chicken tikka masala was great.
Tikka
The,
masala, my favorite. Squid, second.
barbecue Cheetos were delicious.
Yeah, pretty good.
The numb and spicy hot pot though. I was wanting
One
more
of the
from
ones
that,
that we
but that's
put
just
up
not
there
my
that
palate.
smells so horrible.
Yeah, those are
hot
that's
pot.
the
Don't
numb
eat
and
the hot.
spicy hot pot.
No hot pot. No hot
At
pot.
least not
chips.
for me.
Oh, those were brutal.
But
for
yeah,
real,
check 'em
Wait,
out.
how many do we eat? How many do we eat? That's one,
One,
two,
two,
three,
three.
4, 5. Out of 5,
Five.
one of them was bad. The other one was all right. The other 3 were phenomenal. So I'd say that the majority of your care package being fucking phenomenal was more than worth your experience. Like if
And
you've
this
ever,
was like a mystery box, which is an option on there. You don't have to get the mystery box. You can pick what the fuck you want.
this was really good, man. Bangin' Snacks, go and check them out.
Banginsnacks.net.
Banginsnacks.net.
Use bastard and bastards as promo code for 15% off your order.
So you could be drunk and fuck it up, spell it with an E and shit like that.
They've got they just got in like cookies, Chips Ahoy and Oreos combined with Milka, like a bunch of great shit. Check them out.
Dude, I'd love to do more of these reviews. They want to send us more care packages. Please, dude, please. Thank you, Bangin' Snacks. This is fucking awesome. Do you want to go ahead and read the ad read?
Yeah.
Do you have it in front of you? Do you want me to stall for time?
No, I can pull it up. I can talk about it while I'm pulling
Oh, he's
up
all
the,
good.
the
He's got it.
address.
I can also vamp
So-
some stuff out because I was actually a little bummed out that there weren't any of the. So Luke sent us that link and we looked everything, or at least I looked everything up. I'm a little bummed there wasn't one of the 95 different flavors of Kit Kat they haven't.
Wow.
Like I was looking through and there was so many. There's a green tea Kit Kat and this Kit Kat.
Green
I'm
tea
like,
Kit Kat, by the way, sucks.
that was the one where I'm like, I don't want that. But all
strawberry
of the,
one is
pretty much all of the other
fantastic.
Kit Kats I saw on there, I was like, I want
to try the pudding one.
Yeah, I want to put
Can we
that
get
in
an
my
all
face
Kit
right
Kat?
now.
Yeah.
Can we get an all Kit Kat care package? Bangin'
Or not
Snacks.
just Bangin' Snacks.
Bangin' Snacks is listening.
They are. They
Hey,
are. But
you guys send whatever you like.
Whatever you.
Just
But
we
if you
went-
want us to do another one of these, give us a whole Kit Kat.
Or
Everything
just
weird.
how about this? Send us the shit you guys like the best.
Or we can do that, and we've done savory this time.
Yeah.
What about a sweet one? What
That's
if,
fair. That's fair.
A nice
yeah,
sweet
this
one.
Was, also, thanks guys. Like
Thank
for
you so
real,
much.
just honest like appreciation. And you've probably just got another $18 a month because I'm sure I'm gonna order 2 bags of fucking grilled squid chips. Those are fucking delicious.
Can I grab that lighter out of your room?
There's one
all
on the
right.
table over there that you
So
left.
we're also
I want the one in your
sponsored-
room.
Okay, let's
We'll
do
do it
the
in
ad
between.
reads, you fucking savage. We're also sponsored by Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop. Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop has the greatest, most amazing inventory when it comes to smoke and smoke apparel and smoke
Thank you.
needs. Lighters, papers, bongs, water pipes. They have it all, and they've got it for a reasonable price, but the highest of quality. So hit up Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop for your Delta 8, your Delta 10 needs. They've got nugs, they've got carts. Hit them up for kratom, grab pipes.
Yeah, Ricky's got a bad back right now. Me and him are we can be kratom buddies.
Yeah, go ahead. Hit up Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop for some kratom, man, and let them know you're a bastard, and they'll hook you up with not 5, not 10, but 15% off your next order. And if you want to find Scarlet Vape and Smoke Shop, they have one of 2 locations for you.
Two
And
locations.
one of them is at 937 Mama Street, Newport, Kentucky, 41071. And the other is at 11424 Montgomery Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45249. You came in at the end. You missed it all, buddy.
Yeah, you did.
I know. I realized in the fucking all right, yeah.
Now you owe him 3 more.
Oh, I was never gonna stop.
No, I'm saying 3 more episodes.
No, I'm saying I've done it every episode. That's an empty threat. I'm gonna do it every episode. I do weird shit with my hands and my face, and yeah, I always try to fuck up when he's reading. That's why he doesn't look at me anymore, and I want to keep that going.
That's why we love you. Before we get into any more sponsors, anything we want to plug, Ricky, you're our guest. What do you want to talk about?
Dark
Is there
Mountain
anything?
Cult. Hit him up.
We're going to talk about that. Ricky is on the,
Hey, if you
let's-
guys have any animal care needs whatsoever, grooming,
let him
training,
talk about it. Let him talk about it.
pitching it to him softball style.
He's
But
got
thanks for
this.
the interruption.
Look at him. He looks like Black Hercules. I feel like he's got this. Don't worry about it. Look
I
at the
know.
beard. Look at the hair.
I'm trying to keep him from killing you.
It's like a darker skinned Hercules. I love it.
He's
I'm
gonna put that
afraid of him.
11-inch dick right through the back of your neck.
Don't threaten me with a good time. All right.
All right, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Lloyd. I have a business called Gary's Professional Dog Grooming, and we groom
He's not
dogs.
Gary.
Yeah, I'm not Gary.
Thanks, Lloyd.
Interesting story there. We may be. I haven't officially did the records, but we may be the longest running dog grooming facility in Cincinnati.
Really?
It was founded in 1962.
Holy shit.
So I took it over with another business partner who we're not business partners with now, but.
Please tell me Gary was a white racist guy that you killed and took his business from
It was his
Unfortunately,
grandpa. His grandpa.
He passed away
in the
from
60s
cancer,
because
unfortunately.
apparently he's not 30 years old. I wish there was cameras for this. He was like, I was a zookeeper for 28 years. I'm like, you're 29. How is this possible? He's like, I'm 40.
I've been there.
Million years
I hatched
old.
at the zoo.
I am longer than time.
Ricky hatched at the birdhouse at the zoo. I'm
There was
assuming
me,
that's
then
what
there was
happened.
time. and shit
Exactly.
like that.
Richie
Yeah, no,
is-
I pretty much grew up there. I was there when I was 16. So.
Yeah, he went to zoo school, just like our buddy Taylor.
Yep.
But,
But with,
yeah.
with the grooming service, though. Gary's grooming service.
Yeah. Gary's Professional Dog Grooming.
Gary's.
Where do
professional dog
where do they
grooming.
find you to contact you?
Gary's doggrooming.com.
Gary'sDogGrooming.com.
And
Go and check it out.
Where in the city is it located? For
We're
people
in
there?
Blue Ash.
So Blue Ash area, so right,
Nice
fairly
area.
central. Fairly
Yeah,
central.
and if I always like to send people to our Facebook page. We have like a lot of videos on there of us training dogs and pictures
And
of dogs.
What
It's-
services do you provide specifically?
Grooming, training, boarding, and grooming, training, and boarding.
Is boarding like somebody's going on vacation?
Yep.
Okay.
You board your dog, and we take
Oh,
care
that's
of them while they're
fantastic.
there. Yeah.
They have some awesome videos on there, like pictures, videos, all of it. Even me, like I've been in animal care since I was a child, and I've seen some of the stuff that Ricky and his guys have done, and they really are top notch.
Do you guys have competitive rates? Like, what are your rates compared to
Yeah.
other services?
So boarding costs $30 per 24-hour period. So every
It's not
overnight.
bad. That's not bad at
Yeah.
all.
So if you bring the dog in one day, pick it up the next day, no matter what time, it's just $30. And every overnight's $30. Grooming varies quite a bit. Training, we do board and train where the dog stays with us and we train them. And that's what we have a lot of videos of us training those dogs. And then we do one-on-one sessions where I come out to people's homes or at the facility and I help train dogs. So it's a lot of really cool stuff that for me, it's people say I work a lot, I'm at the zoo and then I'm training dogs and all that stuff. But I love what I do, right? I'm having fun.
Yeah.
So I pretty much work 7 days a week, but for me, it doesn't feel like work.
Can we get into some of the dog grooming stuff on the Patreon? Because we're coming up onto
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Patreon after this.
Also, understand this is a guy who works with birds, and there's stuff other zoos are like, oh, well, you can't get birds to do that.
Right.
And Ricky and his people at the birdhouse have made shit like that happen.
Yeah.
That other people are like, well, you can't train birds to do this. So if you think he can't deal with your dumbass fucking labradoodle, he's trained fucking birds.
We'll stop right there and we'll
what
tell the
happen-
story.
what
Wait,
happens
don't
to-
ask him.
No, I'm not gonna know. Wait. So what happens to the people who can't pay?
Why don't
those
we do this
fees?
on the
Do you
Patreon?
just keep them?
Why don't we do this
we've
on the-
never had that happen.
He kills them, brings them to me. I chop them up. We feed them polar bears.
right.
We're going to ask more
Fortunately.
questions about this on the
Fortunately.
Patreon, which if you want to keep plugging your thing, cool. But
Yeah.
patreon.com/The Bastard Sermon. Bonus episode for the free listeners is coming after this with Ricky, and there's over 100 hours of content on there. We've got a bunch of Bastard LLC.
We just did a new LLC?
We did Luke's on Acid LLC. He took acid, and we watched Death of Smoochie. It was a fantastic fucking time. We even did a Alan Resnick review while he was on acid. It was a lot of fucking
It was
fun.
a waste of time.
It wasn't. No, it was
fun.
I'm glad we did it. It was a lot of fun. You guys should check that out. Huckers Fuckers is on there. I don't do a lot of those Huckers Fuckers, but we're coming up on a couple that
I'm
I
just
need
going
to
to start
set up.
interviewing random people and calling it huckers fuckers, even though it has nothing to do with me.
Please, yes, because I haven't done one in months. But all that's on the Patreon. We're gonna ask him more questions on that. So if you like this,
$5.
$5. That's all it takes to get all that content. It's not just this bonus episode. $5 a month, and it unlocks.
Skip one fucking latte, and you can keep a flat build enthusiast
You could even
in business.
You could literally download all of it if you have a big enough hard drive on your computer or your phone. Download all of it, cancel your subscription, and fucking just have enough content to hold you over for weeks on end. And I promise you, it's great content. So if you don't like it, if you download it and you hate it, then I'll give you your money back. Or if you're like, I'm not sure about the purchase, I'll give you some of our best episodes. We have quality episodes. We won't go down which ones they are. We've done this a million times. But I'll give you some of our highlight Patreon exclusive episodes. If you hear this, I'll give it to you for free. And if you like that, check it out.
Yeah, reach out to me, and if
no
if you
commitment to
hear a
buy.
thing, we'll send you a link for an episode.
And no commitment to buy.
Yeah,
if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But I stand behind the product that we have. We have a good product. If you want to fucking check it out, do that. All right, keep going though. The dog and grooming services.
Yeah, so I did have a story some years ago about a dog that.
Well, we can go into the stories in the next thing. This is just like plugs.
Yeah,
Just plugs.
Yeah. So dog training, boarding, grooming.
You have a phone number they should call?
Yeah, 513-891-9851.
Please don't call that and tell dick jokes on the voice message.
Right.
We'll be so mad at you.
Yeah,
please do that.
we tend to be
Please
booked
do
up about 2 to 3 months for grooming, but for boarding, you can just text. We can typically schedule that quicker.
One more time, the name is
Gary's Professional Dog Grooming.
Go and check it out at that same name plus .net.
Yeah,
And I can give a character
Gary's
reference that a friend of mine's like super snooty upper class girlfriend took her dog there, not because they ran it through me. Her name's Cynthia, sir.
That's my mom's name. Calm down.
But she took her dog there, and I think she wrote a review, or she just put it on Facebook or whatever. And I was like, hold on, I know those people. But like, she has like a dog that she spent like money on. Took it there and was very satisfied and happy with it. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, we go out of our way to really make sure, we take longer grooming dogs in other places, so we don't rush them. One thing I always demonstrate with people, so like I'm talking about is behavior stuff, we have to be in a good mood and we have to be happy and feeling relaxed, and the dogs sense that. So people will come in and they'll go, come in asking questions, and I'll go, do you hear that? And they'll say, what? I'll say, you don't hear any dogs barking? Oh yeah. I'll go, we got 13 dogs back there.
As a half Shih Tzu, half person, I feel that right now.
Yeah, and that's
you are
hard
not
to find
nearly a
a
Shih Tzu. You are a fucking. You're like a
Labradoodle.
But
no. You're like a fucking beagle hunting
wolf.
dog that like
A super wolf on steroids.
no the opposite.
A,
of that. You're
the
definitely
biggest
like,
dick of all the wolves, whichever one that is. That's what I am,
You're definitely
right?
like a cocker spaniel that someone taught to like retrieve ducks after they shot them.
That's
you're
the
like,
same as
no,
being
you're
a
like
wolf.
that's what it should have been, and what he should have been like.
All right,
trained
so
to
anyways,
do.
the episode's over.
But it like he got a hurt leg early, so now he just like
yeah,
cries.
so now
at
they
everything.
just breed him with.
Well,
other
Dark Mountain Colt's
The people walk by at the on the
they're just like, can I
driveway.
breed my fat dog with your ugly dog and see if it'll catch some?
and then I
ducks
gotta
for me?
cry thinking about which one I am. Am I the fat one or the ugly one? You're both, bitch.
He's just a dog that like yelps out, "My dad is dead."
Stop wearing tight pants, you fat faggot. Anyways,
Good lord!
I'm talking
All
about
right.
myself.
Pronounce Lloyd.
Find us on
I'm
the
talking about myself.
Patreon. Let's wrap this up.
Look, it's pronounced Lloyd.
Yep. All right. So
The Dark Mountain
thank you.
Cult, Patrick Seda, my best friend in the entire world, Luke hates him.
That's why you forget about it every episode.
He's actually coming back. Pat Seda is scheduled to come back on February 8th. I canceled a drunken. You know how I did the Neighborhood Hill and it sucked? Yeah, I learned from my lessons. I canceled a drunk book and I scheduled it with somebody that wanted to come on. So Pat will come back on to talk about all kinds of cool
And
shit.
apparently
Call
we
that
have
growth.
to reschedule Bobby Bronson again soon too.
Oh, we got to get Bobby Bronson. We got to get Nick Lavin and Bobby Bronson on this.
Bobby
Did I just say
Blonson.
Blonson? What the
Blonson.
fuck is my
Yep,
mouth
yep.
doing? I'd like to see a
Kate
Nick
Beckinsale.
Lavin. I'd like to. I'm putting this out there now. If they're listening, I would like to see a Nick Lavin plus Bobby. Oh my God! I did it again. A Bobby Bronson,
Robbie?
Nick Glavin together episode because they used to do the T&B podcast
Yep.
and they were fantastic on that. They're always funny on our show. I think that they would be great to play off of each other. We'll set that up in the future.
Also-
Fuck you. We like the Bengals.
Fuck you. We like the Bengals. It's fucking growing exponentially right now because the Bengals are actually doing well.
That's a podcast, not a statement, by the way.
Yeah,
Just for the people that are new listening.
Me and Alex Schubert do a podcast called Fuck You, We Like the Bengals. We roast whatever team the Bengals is playing. Recorded right here in the same place we do this. It's very fun. You don't even have to be a football fan to enjoy it. Check it out. Also, if you have any questions you would like to direct towards Ricky, please send them to me. I will ask him, and you can get a response from him anytime. Animal training, dog grooming, or whatever.
Beautiful. Patreon.com/TheBastardSermon, $5.
Yeah.
Goodbye.